If you're considering buying an SUV in 2025, listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. We conducted a comprehensive scan of the US market, analyzing reliability data, fuel efficiency, performance, and real owner complaints, and the results will surprise you. A list of the 5 worst SUVs, ones you should avoid at all costs, even if they seem like a great deal. But hold on, because that's not all. We've also singled out the 4 best SUVs to buy in 2025, models truly worth your investment. These are solid choices, and you'll soon see why. Hit the like button on the video and let's dive into the first SUV you should steer clear of. 1. VinFast VF8. When it comes to electric vehicles, the world is watching new brands closely. One that arrived in the US with huge ambitions is VinFast, a Vietnamese automaker that promised to take on Tesla, Hyundai, Volkswagen, and any industry giant. But the promise remained just talk. The VinFast VF8, the brand's electric SUV, is a prime example of how not everything new is good. At first glance, it impresses: modern design, digital dashboard, decent range on paper, and a futuristic vibe that catches the eye. But take it for a spin or check American vehicle tests, and reality hits fast. Starting with the suspension, which has been harshly criticized by journalists and consumers. It's unstable, uncomfortable, and feels unsafe on curves or rough terrain. You feel the car sway more than it should. Stability, a priority in any modern SUV, simply doesn't exist here. Then there's the interior finish, which many have called cheap and poorly assembled. Buttons that feel like plastic toys, misaligned fittings, creaky doors, things you wouldn't expect in a brand new car costing over $50,000. Performance, which should be an EV's strong suit, also disappoints. Acceleration is inconsistent, the brake pedal feels imprecise, and the car feels heavy when you need agility most. And speaking of brakes, they've faced serious criticism in multiple reviews. Some drivers reported delayed braking response, a downright dangerous flaw, especially in emergencies. If you're thinking, well, maybe the next versions will improve, the truth is, the 2025 model arrived with almost no significant changes from the previous year, which was already widely criticized. VinFast is trying to course correct, of course. They're investing heavily in marketing, opening US stores, and promising improved versions. But the reality is, in 2025, the VF8 still isn't ready to compete with the big names. It's a risky bet, overpriced, with a poor reputation and too short a track record to trust blindly. It's the kind of SUV you might glance at today, but walk right past. 2. Jeep Grand Cherokee. For decades, the Jeep Grand Cherokee name carried serious weight in the SUV world. It was synonymous with ruggedness, adventure, and status. Many buyers would grab a Grand Cherokee without a second thought, just for its legacy. But sadly, the 2025 model no longer lives up to its reputation. The issue here isn't just one flaw. It's a combination of problems that, together, make the Grand Cherokee a purchase you'll regret quickly, especially if you're looking for long-term reliability. Let's start with what annoys owners most: mechanical reliability. Year after year, Grand Cherokee versions have piled up complaints about electrical and electronic issues. Infotainment systems freezing, parking sensors malfunctioning, false dashboard alerts, even failures in driving assistance. Think that's minor? Wait till you hear this. Some owners have reported situations where the car shuts off on its own while stopped at a traffic light. Others have experienced issues with the air conditioning, rear-view cameras that stop working out of nowhere, and even failures in the automatic braking system. All this in an SUV that, in its most basic version, easily exceeds $40,000. Now think about it. An SUV you buy to take your family around, drive with peace of mind, and go on long trips, only to deal with dashboard bugs and constant visits to the dealership. It's the opposite of what you'd expect from a reliable vehicle. And there's more. The Grand Cherokee L version, with 3 rows of seats, was designed to compete with larger SUVs like the Toyota Highlander. But guess what? It brought even more problems. Beyond the issues already mentioned, many criticized the comfort of the third-row seats, the awkward handling, and the high fuel consumption. In other words, it tries to be versatile but delivers neither comfort, nor efficiency, nor reliability. What makes the situation worse is the maintenance cost. Even in the US, where service is usually cheaper than in other countries, Jeep has a reputation for charging high prices for parts and checkups. And the after-sales service? It's constantly criticized on forums and specialized websites. Now, an important pause here. We're not bashing the Jeep brand. It has interesting models, like the Wrangler and Compass, which fulfill their roles well. But the Grand Cherokee, especially in recent versions, has become a red flag for anyone who values peace of mind in their daily drive. And even with the 2025 model arriving with minor updates, its recent track record still weighs heavily. 3. Ford Explorer. The Ford Explorer is a name that carries history. It was once synonymous with power, space, and respect on American roads. But what was once a benchmark SUV is now a classic case of looks can be deceiving. Because behind the modern exterior and the list of features, the 2025 Explorer carries a baggage of problems that simply can't be ignored. Let's start with the most serious: frequent recalls. In recent years, the Explorer has been called back to dealerships for safety system failures, engine issues, transmission problems, and even steering system flaws, and this directly affects the confidence any owner wants to have in their car. The hybrid version, which should be more efficient, has also shown mechanical failures and unstable fuel consumption, frustrating those who expected both economy and performance. Additionally, the Sync infotainment system, already criticized in earlier models, continues to suffer from lag, bugs, and connectivity issues with smartphones. In short, a technological headache in a car that promises cutting-edge tech. And the after-sales service. Many reports highlight difficulties with the brand's service network, especially regarding wait times for repairs and parts availability. Imagine being without your car for weeks, even with an active warranty? With prices exceeding $45,000 for mid-range versions, the Explorer ends up being a high investment for questionable returns. And in a market with increasingly competitive options, this puts the model in a very uncomfortable position. 4. Land Rover Discovery. The Land Rover Discovery is one of those SUVs that, at first glance, charms. Refined design, high-end presence, elegant interior. But when you start living with it day to day, the story changes, and fast. The problem with the 2025 Discovery isn't its looks, it's the hidden cost behind all that sophistication. First, mechanical reliability remains a major weakness for the brand. Electronic failures, sensors that stop working, issues with control modules, leaks in hydraulic components, all of these appear frequently in owner reports and independent reviews. And don't be fooled, this isn't just an issue with older versions. The 2025 model still carries the same chronic flaws from previous years. It's as if Land Rover had only given it a visual tweak, leaving the core design untouched. Another delicate point is the maintenance cost. Any repair, even a simple one, tends to be expensive and time-consuming. Exclusive parts, specialized labor, and a limited dealership network only increase the wait time and the owner's stress. The Discovery was conceived as a premium SUV with off-road capability, but in practice, it doesn't deliver enough durability or reliability for that. And in a market full of more reliable premium options, like the Lexus RX or even SUVs from BMW and Audi, the Discovery ends up falling behind. 5. Volvo XC60. Volvo is almost always associated with safety, technology, and a certain Scandinavian sophistication. And for a long time, the XC60 was the SUV that delivered all of this in a balanced package. But unfortunately, with the 2025 model, things went downhill. The XC60's big problem isn't its design, which by the way remains beautiful and well finished. It's what lies under the hood and behind the screens. The SUV has been plagued by persistent electronic issues, freezing displays, infotainment system bugs, unresponsive controls, and sensors triggering alerts for no reason. And when you're driving a car that's supposed to be smart and safe, these kinds of failures become a real risk. Additionally, the XC60 has also faced criticism for long-distance comfort. The suspension, which should smooth out road imperfections, has proven stiff and unrefined, especially in the hybrid versions. Recent tests also found the sound insulation lacking, which is unacceptable for an SUV positioned in the premium segment. Another frustrating point is the high price, which isn't justified compared to direct competitors. For around $50,000, you'd expect a flawless experience. But the XC60 delivers far more stress than pleasure. Even with the safety features Volvo heavily promotes, the 2025 model still fails to deliver the reliability consumers expect. And when it comes to a luxury car, the last thing you want is to deal with silly defects and frequent dealership visits. Now that we've covered the worst SUVs you can buy in 2025, it's time to reveal the best options. Plenty of great choices are coming. But first, I'd like you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos we post here. Let's start with the first on the list. 1. Toyota Grand Highlander Hybrid. If there's one brand that always comes up when reliability is the topic, it's Toyota. And in 2025, one of the SUVs that stood out the most was the Grand Highlander Hybrid, a direct evolution of the traditional Highlander, now larger, more efficient, and even more well-equipped. What impresses right away is the interior space. With 3 rows of seats and room for up to 8 occupants, the Grand Highlander Hybrid is perfect for large families, long trips, or anyone who simply loves ample comfort. And unlike many 7-seat SUVs, the third row here is actually usable. Even adults can travel there without feeling cramped. But it's not just the size that shines. The hybrid model delivers over 35 miles per gallon in combined EPA tests. In other words, an SUV of this size, with this level of space, achieving this fuel efficiency, is a rare thing. And of course, we're talking about a Toyota. The mechanics are robust, maintenance is simple, and depreciation is among the lowest in its class. This means you not only save on fuel but also enjoy peace of mind in the long run. Toyota's hybrid system is one of the most tested and reliable in the world. And in the Grand Highlander, it operates smoothly, almost imperceptibly. The transition between the combustion engine and electric motor is practically seamless, and the onboard silence is impressive. Another standout feature is the suite of safety technologies. You'll find lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency braking, and more. All standard, even on the most affordable models. With a starting price around $43,000, the Grand Highlander Hybrid delivers far more than just empty style. It's the kind of SUV that might not turn heads on the street, but will make you smile every time you refuel or avoid an expensive repair. 2. Kia EV9. The electric SUV market is growing fast. And if there's one model that took everyone by surprise in 2025, it's the Kia EV9. This 3-row SUV not only innovated in design and technology, but redefined expectations for a family electric vehicle. Let's start with the visual impact. The EV9 boasts a futuristic style, with sharp lines, striking LED lighting, and a commanding road presence. But it's not just good-looking, it's genuinely functional. With seating for up to 7 and a super spacious interior, the Kia EV9 offers a comfortable modern cabin packed with smart details. The rear seats recline, USB chargers are available in every row, and the multimedia system is intuitive and fast, featuring one of the best interfaces ever seen in an electric vehicle. In terms of range, the EV9 doesn't disappoint either. Depending on the version, it delivers up to 300 miles on a single charge, and with 800V ultra-fast charging support, you can recharge from 10% to 80% in under 25 minutes. And if you're wondering about performance, yes, it delivers. With all-wheel drive versions, the EV9 accelerates smoothly and powerfully, even when fully loaded. It's that quiet strength you only find in well-engineered electric vehicles. But what's most impressive about the EV9 is its balance. It's a large, family-friendly, 100% electric SUV with a competitive starting price of around $55,000, putting it ahead of many premium competitors in terms of value. Moreover, the EV9 has already been awarded Best Electric SUV of 2025 by top automotive outlets like Motor Trend, AP News, and Car and Driver. 3. Honda Prologue. If you're considering making the leap to electric but still have concerns about performance, reliability, or adaptation, the Honda Prologue was made for you. This is the Japanese brand's first all-electric SUV sold in the US, arriving in 2025 with a clear mission: to make the transition to EVs simple, safe, and hassle-free. Starting with the design, the Prologue opts for a clean, elegant, and well-executed look. Nothing exaggerated, nothing overly futuristic. It feels like an SUV you already know, just more modern and efficient. It's the kind of car that won't intimidate those transitioning from combustion engines. Inside, the space is surprising. Its dimensions are very close to the Honda Passport, with ample passenger room and a generous trunk. The materials are high quality. The infotainment system is quick and easy to use, and the Bose sound system in higher trims elevates the experience. Now, let's get to what matters: performance. The Prologue delivers around 288 horsepower in the all-wheel drive version and a range that can exceed 300 miles on a charge, depending on configuration. Plus, with fast charging support, it recovers a significant portion of the battery in under 45 minutes. The driving experience is smooth, stable, and comfortable. You get that signature electric silence paired with the lightness and balance only Honda can deliver. It's an electric SUV that doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. It just gets everything right. Additionally, it's already been awarded Best Electric SUV of the Year by the Tom's Guide Awards 2025. And if you know Honda, you know what that means: durability, strong after-sales support, and long-term reliability. With prices starting at $48,000, the Prologue delivers a lot for its price, especially if you're looking for an EV without radicalism, one that feels familiar and functional from day one. 4. Chevrolet Equinox EV. The electric SUV market has grown, but so have the high prices. Finding an affordable, modern, and well-equipped EV has become a tough mission. But then Chevrolet stepped in with the 2025 Equinox EV and changed the game. This SUV arrived as one of the year's best surprises, combining solid range, updated design, and what everyone wants, a truly competitive price. While many EVs easily surpass $50K, the Equinox EV starts at $34,995, and that's without feeling like a bare bones or incomplete model. Even the base version comes with a good multimedia system, full connectivity with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, driving assists, a rear-view camera, and more. Visually, the Equinox EV is modern but not over the top. Smooth lines, slim LED headlights, and a stance that exudes elegance without trying to look like a futuristic concept. Inside, the space is well utilized, with pleasant-to-touch materials and ergonomics designed for daily use, whether for families or frequent drivers. In terms of range, the SUV delivers up to 319 miles on a full charge, depending on the version. And with DC fast charging support, you can recover nearly 70% of the battery in about 30 minutes. In practice, it perfectly suits urban and even highway driving, without the range anxiety that often scares new EV buyers. Another highlight is the driving experience. Light, smooth, and responsive. The Equinox EV gives a sense of effortless control. Ideal for those who want an easy-to-drive, economical, and no-nonsense electric car. No wonder the model was named Best Value EV by the 2025 Tom's Guide Awards, beating out more expensive names precisely for its well-balanced package. So, after all this, one thing is clear. In 2025, buying an SUV demands much more than just checking specs or flashy ads. There are famous name cars delivering headaches, and there are underdog brands launching surprising models that actually make sense in daily life. The difference between a good deal and a bad one lies in the details, and now you have that advantage. You know which SUVs to avoid, and more importantly, which ones are truly worth your investment. If you've made it this far, it's because you care about your money, your time, and your peace of mind, and that already puts you ahead of most. Now tell me in the comments, which of these SUVs have you considered buying? Or worse, have you owned any of these problematic models? And if this video helped you in any way, go ahead and hit like and share it with someone thinking about switching cars this year. It might be exactly the wake-up call they need. Oh, and if you want a more complete list of SUVs by price range or powertrain, hybrid, electric, gas, drop a comment below and I'll prepare an exclusive piece just on that.